Good. So this is the problem here. For example, say you go into the shop and buy this one screw. You want to pay with card and the guy says, no, we have a limit or a threshold. You have to pay like 10 euros to be able to pay by card. So you say, okay, I pay cash, and you give them like 1 euro for this tiny screw that costs like a cent. He says, thank you very much, takes it away, and then you get this. Okay, thanks very much. So now I turned like this into this. Great. So I hope you get the idea. Right now you're able to pay almost everything in Germany by with credit card or so, but there are lots of smaller shops especially that don't accept credit cards because of the costs and the hassle you have with them. You need internet connection and stuff like that. So you will end up with lots of like sleeping coins like this. And you don't want to carry them around with you, so you put them away in like a jar or so. And then they sleep there and you collect more and more money. And the question is how to get this money back into the system. Well, let's talk about what I came up with. I found like 5 ways to deal with them. And in the end, I show you my current setup. But first, start with the background. About a few years ago, I started to declutter my everyday carriage stuff that I carry around with me. Basically, I'm just down to my keys today and the credit cards with some cash attached. So that's everything I carry with me. And everything else is in the backpack or so. What basically happens is if you get cash back or coins back, I can tuck them in here in this little pocket. I can tuck the points here in this little pocket, and then once I'm at home I will dump them into the jar. Alrighty. So how to get them back into the system? So the first thing that I was doing for like years was just wait until the jar is full and then go to the bank and dump them there, and the bank counts them and puts them on your bank account. This was really nice, but 2 things happened. First, the bank started putting charges on this behavior. So they wanted me to pay them that they can take my money and give it back to me. Yeah, you know the problem. And while checking this, I took the opportunity and switched to a direct bank. And this way there aren't any stores anymore, so there's even less chance to drop the money off and give it back to the bank. So this option almost died. Second solution is what I call the grandma solution. It's like you have the big box of money with you. You have your big purse. You have your big purse with you, and you pay everything in cash. So you go to the counter and say, "Oh yes, wait a second. I have the exact amount. Let me get you this 2, 3, 8, 10. What's it? 13. Okay, 12. Oh, where? Yeah, you know. Yep. And one thing I realized is that the German cashier system is really fast. The guys and girls working there are just rushing your items over the belt, and they're done in under 20 seconds for a big for your big grocery shopping. And then it will take you like half a minute or a minute to sort out your cash and to give it to them. And another thing is you have lots of social pressure because you're not alone. There are a few people behind you, and they will start getting restless and kind of tucked away passive-aggressive looks and so like this. So you basically just want to leave as fast as possible. So counting your cash and or paying cash at the big registers isn't an option as well. So because you want to get away as fast as possible, at least when there's a human involved. We talk about this later. The third thing, or how you do it, is why keep it? Just give it to the needed people in need. Yeah, that's an option, but it passes the problem just to another person. And generally, I prefer to donate like real goods than real money, because then I know what it's used for. And so, yeah, charity is obviously an option. You should take it into consideration. But in my case, I prefer to ask them what they want from the shop, and then I just give it to them once I come back. Okay. The fourth thing I tried was to like prepare your money. You can print out or get something like this. This is a counter. You can put your You can put your money in there, and then you can count it. Yeah, I think you have seen something like this. And then you end up with this rolled money like this. See, this is 50 cents in 1 cent pieces, or what's that, 5 cent, 2 cent pieces, €1. And so this is a little more handy, and you get a feel of how much money you have lying around. That's a good thing. And I tried to pay with something like this. So I went to the counter and said, like, wait a second. I can give you the like €1 you want. Wait a second. I'm almost there. Come on. Okay, here we go. Wait. Hope I don't cut myself. Right. And here we go. Obviously, this solution is almost as bad as the first one with just counting the money. And they will kill you with their... I think they have to accept the money if it's like a certain amount or under a certain amount. But yeah, you won't be the best customer. You won't be loved by everyone. And also you have to prepare. So it's really time consuming to roll this stuff. And then to open it, it's a hassle. You have to get a knife or find out some way to get them open right easily. And I think you look like a bit stupid. Okay, rolling is good for keeping track of how much you have, but it's not that good of an option if you try to recircle the money, to give the money back into the system, right? Okay. Now, the first practical DIY solution I used quite a bit was this. I took my knitting skills and created something like this, which basically is like a little pouch. You see, you can wear it on a belt. It's supposed to be worn like this, I think, exactly. So on your belt on this side, because I have this indent here, so no money can go here. And then I can just open it and pull the money out. So this, at first glance, this doesn't look better than what we did before. But having this in the small bag allows me to count the money prior to this. So what you see here should be exactly €1. And since the prices in Germany, or maybe everywhere, tend to end like in 0.99, so if you buy a few things, you will end up with a sum of like X euro 0.85 or something like this. And since I know that this is exactly €1, if I have to pay like 0.85, I just take like 5 cents and 10 cents away, and I know this is 85 cents left. Right? this doesn't remove the time you need to count the money, because you just do it prior and not on the counter itself. So good idea, doesn't really save you money, saves you lots of passive aggressiveness in the from other customers, but not from the cashier, because he or she has still to count everything, right? But now we're getting closer, because what I realized is that in the last few months and years, the big chains started to introduce self-service checkouts, and most times they have a machine where you can actually pay in cash, like it accepts like bills and coins. So now there's nobody who has to count it on the other side. So basically the idea is to just dump all your coins in there and then be done, because you don't have to sort them. You can just put in coins as long as you like, or the machine accepts the coins. And since these checkouts are almost like grouped together, so you have like 4 checkouts or 6 checkouts in one lane, you don't have that line that is blocked just because you are doing your thing. Yeah, because there are 3 or 5 other counters or checkout stations that will be used by other people and get freed faster. So you have basically time, and you have somebody who has some machine that counts for you. But how to feed this machine? Because like going there with your jar and just take this and do like 1, 2, 3, it's really tedious. And therefore I came up with this. Black on the camera is always nice, right? Sorry. You see it has a hole on the lower end and this kind of U-shaped opening on the top. And if we look from the side, you see that there's a slot to be able to pour coins out. And the idea was to just take some coins and this will fit like every coin from 1 to 20 cents. Right? And then I can go up to the checkout, and I will just get them out of here one by one. I think you get the idea. Of course, this will be spring-loaded in the back, and so I think I messed up. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, you just stay there and can pour them out one by one. And in best case, you can do this one-handed and just plop them into the slot of the machine. Right. So I actually tried this once, and obviously it jammed up, and so I ended up to be like just pouring them out from the back and then feeding the machine this way. But as always, the Germans start with the over-engineered solution. So let's have a look at the final iteration. It's also black, I know, but what you see here is basically a 2.5 centimeter PVC pipe with a plug on the bottom, 3D printed, and 3D printed top. You can open it, and then you have just a stack of coins in there, and you can just pour them out. Right? And it keeps shut. So it took me like 6 iterations, but that's quite nice now. And now I am decluttered, because you know, I'm starting collecting more stuff. So this is what I have in my backpack all the time. This is what I will take with me when I know I will go to a shop that has an automated checkout system that accepts coins. And only this is what I will have to carry around with me all the time. I'm still able to get rid of my coins and decrease my collection of useless sleeping coins. So that's my solution to the coin problem. What do you think? How? Actually, that's really interesting. What do you? Because I've been thinking about this stuff for quite a while now. You see, this was like a few years ago, and this was most recently, and this was the beginning of the year. So how do you deal with all the excess coins? Do you donate them? Do you keep them in your house? Are you just collecting them and will pass on to the next generation to check out what to do with it? I'm quite curious actually. So if you like, let me know. Thanks a lot for watching.